Okay, so we are at the top hat stage. I went in and I finished up that one seam. I'm going to go ahead and trim down the rest of this. I only cut that little bit off, but now you can go ahead and go in and cut the rest of it off. Okay, and that takes care of that. Before you go any farther, you want to open your hat up and make sure that all of your clips and first stitchings are all covered up with your stitching under here. If not, then just make another seam or do another circuit around your middle and make sure that that's all covered. I had to switch over to brown thread because I ran out of purple, but it's okay. So here we're at. This is it. Okay, so our next step is to turn everything inside out, and we're just going to sew a seam across the top of the hat. So you want to line up your hat. And we're going to go straight across. That seam in. So it's just a straight seam right across the top. 1/4 inch is fine, or if you want a smaller a smaller top on the hat, you can make it whatever you want. But for this one, it's going to be just a 1/4 inch seam. It's not moving. Okay, got caught in my machine. And it's in there tight. Okay, let's see if I can get that out and start again. Okay, let's try it again. Okay. Care of that. So cut your threads off. Okay, so now when you turn it inside out, you've got a hat with a square top. Okay, we don't want that kind of cowboy hat, so we're going to have to somehow get that in a cowboy shape. So if you've ever made purses or grocery bags or anything that tells you to miter a corner, like a quilt or something like that, what we're going to do is we're going to make a seam across. We're going to, okay, here's your seam. We're going to open that up. We're going to pull it from the sides, and we're going to lay that flat. And what we're going to do is we're going to sew across here like that. And that's going to square up our corner. We're going to do that on both sides. So what I like to do is I like to do it with a gathering stitch, so that if I don't get it lined up correctly the first time, it's easy to pull those stitches out. So because we're dealing with the seam and the seam, we want to line those up. So I like to take a pin and put my pin in and try and get that pin directly in the center of the back seam so that I can line those two seams up. Okay, so that will be the second stitch, and basically what you're going to end up with is a round hat. But the reason I say to gather it to put it with a gathering stitch, because if you don't line those up evenly, you're going to have your stitches off center, which is exactly what I did on this yellow hat. I was just playing around with this one to see if it would work, but I didn't line up my two edges, and they look really funny that they don't even match. So I don't want to have that happen on this purple one. So I'm going to go to my gathering stitch, and I'm going to do those seams in gathering stitch before I do it for real. So let me go ahead and put my pins the right way. And as far as the depth, you can make it a little tuck, or you could make it a big tuck. I would go for at least I'd make at least 1.5 inch tuck. 1.5 inches? Yeah. I'd make at least 1.5 inches tuck from the top point to the inside of where your seam's going to be. So let's go ahead and just run a quick seam across there, and you can line that up with any one of your lines on your sewing machine. So I'm not even going to backstitch this, because in case I need to take it out, I'm just going to do a quick once across. Okay, so there's one side, and let's do the other one. Same thing, just a quick once across, just to see what it looks like and if we're happy with it. So same thing, at least 1.5 inches. I would go at least 1.5 inches. So let's try this side. Okay, let's see how we did. So we're going to turn it outside in, and we're going to see how that looks. Okay, you see what happened? I lined these up, and they look pretty good. I've got a seam on the top, I got a seam here, and then my seam all the way across. And that is the easy cowboy hat. So what you can do now is you can make those seams, resew those seams, cut this off. Okay, now you're going to have to decide what you're going to do here. You can just take a piece of bias tape and then just sew your piece of bias tape across here to hide that, or you can take a strip of the fleece, like a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch fleece, and sew it on your seam line, and then cover that up, so all you'll have is a strip of fleece. You can trim these down. You don't have to worry about fleece. It's not going to shred. It's not going to fray on you or anything, because it is fleece. And then you can take your cowboy hat and you can embellish it with all kinds of things, ribbons, furs, feathers, anything that you want. And do that for you, and then you can switch your trims, put feathers, put flowers. You can take this and you can, if you want that real cowboy look, you can take this and tack these up on the sides and give it that real cowboy look, and make that your permanent mark. And let me get it all. So, so there is Kelsey with her simple her simple cowboy hat. So of course you're going to want to do something with that. In this, you're going to want to do something with that. If you made it too big and it falls through on the doll's head, you can build that up also with more fleece. So you can make that inner headpiece in here. You can make this more. You can make this smaller, the inner circle smaller, by building up fleece if it doesn't fit right on your dolls. So you don't have to just you know, throw it away or anything. You can adjust it to make it smaller for your doll's head. So this is like I said, you can add your feathers, you can add your whatever designs you want. There's just so many things you can do with these hats. So anyway, there's Kelsey in her purple fleece hat. But it wouldn't be complete without a feather. So we just need to put a feather in her hat. So I'm going to put a pink feather in her hat. And there she is. And another one. And that's the simple cowboy hat. So I'll do the fleece one, not the fleece one, I'll do the vinyl one next time. So, but that's a little more difficult than these fleece ones are. Okay, so I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.